Today, I'm going to show you how to mount vintage 16mm motion picture lenses on your Micro Four Thirds camera. Hi guys, Sean here with Fotodioxpro.com, and today I want to show you something pretty cool that you can easily do if you have a Micro Four Thirds camera and you're looking to put some interesting new lenses on the camera. This is a Bell & Howell Filmo Auto Load 16mm motion picture camera. It's a wind-up camera, so you would actually wind it up to shoot, so it didn't have a battery. You just push this to shoot. And this was one of the auto load varieties, so it actually used a cartridge-based 16mm film. Let's see if I can get it out. So the film was actually preloaded in a cartridge. They also made versions that came with spool film that you would load in, which is a little more complicated. So this is a pretty popular format back in the day. It was more expensive than 8mm, double 8mm that eventually became super 8mm. So not as many people shot with it. But these cameras actually had fairly nice lenses. And I recently discovered that you can get these cameras for very, very cheap at antique stores and thrift stores. And I think the reason is the camera itself isn't that nice looking. There's nothing super fancy about it. It's basically just a big brown box. So I got this camera for $25 at an antique store down the street. And I've seen a lot of these for that price, so it's a fairly common price. The funny thing is, if you can find one with a lens on it, the lens is worth way more than $25. This is a Bell & Howell Lumax 1-inch f1.9 C-mount lens. It focuses from infinity to 1 foot, and it is a very nice lens. And it's interesting, if you went on eBay and looked for this lens, it would end up costing you around $100, $120, maybe even more, depending on the quality of the lens. There are different versions. But when you buy it on the camera, you get it for $25. So it's a huge bargain. Now you might ask, why on earth would I want this tiny little C-mount lens? What could I do with it? Well, the truth is, this sensor of 16mm film is very similar to the sensor that you'll find in a camera like the GH4, the GH5. They're similar size, and a lot of these lenses actually give you full image circle coverage on these sensors. So if you're looking for a fast, compact prime lens for your Micro Four Thirds camera, and you don't mind a little character to your lens, these are a great option. Now, how do you mount it on the Micro Four Thirds camera? Well, it's pretty simple. We make a C-mount to Micro Four Thirds adapter. The C-mount lenses were threaded lenses, and these are a universal mount system. These were made for all sorts of different brand lenses and cameras. And there actually are still C-mount lenses out there today for security cameras. So you can actually still get new ones. It's a really simple adapter that we sell. It's basically a threaded adapter. You got the Micro Four Thirds mount on the back, and then the C-mount thread on the front. Just screw it on. There you go. And then just mount it on the camera. Line up the red dot on the back of the adapter with the red dot on the camera. There you go. Now you've got this beautiful little fast prime lens on your Micro Four Thirds camera, and you can create images like this. Like I said earlier, these lenses do have a character to them. They're not going to be as sharp as modern lenses. They won't have the same coatings as modern lenses, so you are going to get a slightly different color rendition. You're not going to get as much contrast. It's going to be a more lo-fi, old-fashioned image. But with color grading, you can bring a lot of that contrast back in post. And if you're looking for a vintage film look, this is a great lens to use because it's a vintage lens, so it's going to give you an image that looks closer to what you would have captured back in the day shooting with a lens of this type, shooting with a camera of this type. Now, depending on the C-mount lens you pick up, you may not get full sensor coverage. You may get some slight vignetting in the corners. And even if you don't get vignetting, you may get some softness in the corners. This is a quality that some people are actually seeking, which is why they shoot with these lenses. They like that kind of lo-fi lens baby feel, especially for if they're shooting something that is supposed to be a flashback or a dream sequence or something that just has this more beautiful organic look to it. But if you do want to get rid of the softness, one thing you could do is crop slightly in post and just use the sharpness in the center of the lens. At the end of the day, it's really hard to beat a $100 lens for $25. So I would totally recommend checking out your antique store or your thrift store near you to look for lenses like this. When you're looking, make sure you avoid D-mount lenses. They're going to be smaller than C-mounts, and those will not work on a Micro Four Thirds system. If you have any questions or comments about C-mount lenses and Micro Four Thirds cameras, comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Also, click the link in the description below to get your C-mount to Micro Four Thirds adapter today. And click right here to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more videos just like this one. I'm Sean with Fotodiox. Thanks for watching.